Hi all, KTU PhD entrance examinനുള്ള ഈ റിസർച്ച് മെത്തഡോളജി എന്ന സബ്ജക്റ്റിന്റെ അടുത്തൊരു വീഡിയോയിലേക്ക് എല്ലാവർക്കും സ്വാഗതം. ഈ വീഡിയോയിൽ നമ്മൾ ഡിസ്കസ് ചെയ്യുന്നത് DOE കോൺസെപ്റ്റ്, ദാറ്റ് ഈസ് ഡിസൈൻ ഓഫ് എക്സ്പെരിമെന്റ്സ് വരെയാണ്. ഓക്കെ, സോ ഫസ്റ്റ് നമ്മൾ ഡിസ്കസ് ചെയ്യുന്ന ടോപ്പിക് ഫോർമുലേറ്റിംഗ് റിസർച്ച് ഹൈപ്പോത്തസിസ്. A hypothesis is an assumption about relations between variables. Hypothesis can be defined as a logically conjectured relationship between two or more variables expressed in the form of a testable statement. So relationships are conjectured or assumed on the basis of the network of associations established in the theoretical framework formulated for the research study. Then the different types of variables include: first is explanatory versus extraneous variable. The variables selected for analysis is called the explanatory variables, and all other variables that are not related to the purpose of the study but may affect the dependent variable are extraneous. Next category is dependent versus independent variable. The variable that changes in relationship to changes in another variable or variables is called dependent variable. The variable whose change results in the change in another variable is called independent variable. Or we can, in other terms, we can say like an independent variable is one that influences dependent variable in either a positive or a negative way. Next, research hypothesis is a predictive statement that relates an independent variable to a dependent variable. Hypothesis must contain at least one independent variable and one dependent variable. Hypotheses are tentative, intelligent guesses as to the solution of the problem. Hypothesis is a specific statement of prediction. It describes in concrete terms what you expect to happen in the study. Hypothesis is an assumption about the population of the study. It delimits the area of research and keeps the researcher on the right track. Then coming to the types of hypothesis. First is descriptive hypothesis. These are assumptions that describe the characteristics such as size, form, or distribution of a variable. Then next is the relational hypothesis or explanatory hypothesis. These are assumptions that describe the relationship between two variables. The relationship suggested may be positive, negative, or causal relationship. Causal hypothesis states that the existence of or change in one variable causes or leads to an effect on another variable. The first variable is called independent variable, and the later is the dependent variable. Next comes the null hypothesis. When a hypothesis is stated negatively, it is called a null hypothesis. And next is alternate hypothesis. It is the hypothesis that describes the researcher's prediction that there exists a relationship between two variables, or it is the opposite of null hypothesis. Next comes the type 1 and type 2 errors. It's also a concept in hypothesis testing. So type 1 error is also denoted like alpha, and type 2 denoted like beta. And type 1 error is also known as false positive error, and it occurs if an investigator rejects a null hypothesis that is actually true in the population. Next comes the type 2 error. It is also known as false negative error, and type 2 error occurs if the investigator fails to reject a null hypothesis that is actually false in the population. And this table illustrates the different states we take a decision about a null hypothesis. So you can see over here, these are the decisions on null hypothesis, like accept or reject. Okay, and when the null hypothesis is true and when it is accepted, that is a correct decision. Okay, and here the probability is 1 minus alpha. And if the null hypothesis is true, but it is rejected, then comes the type 1 error. Okay, type 1 error. And here the probability will be alpha. The next case is null hypothesis is false. Okay, and we accept false. Hypothesis is false and we accept. Then what happens? Type 2 error will occur, and here the probability is beta. And next is null hypothesis is false and we reject, that is a correct decision, and here the probability is 1 minus beta. Then steps in developing a research proposal. First step is developing and defining a topic. Second step, exploring your purpose and audience for your research. Then third step, conducting preliminary research. Fourth step, formulating a research question and additional questions if any. Then final step is creating a research plan. Next, experimentation. Experimentation is a research method in which one or more variables are consciously manipulated and the outcome or effect of that manipulation on other variables is observed. That is experimentation. And instrumentation. Instrumentation is the process of constructing research instruments that could be used appropriately in gathering data on the study. A questionnaire, interview, and observation, these are the commonly used tools in gathering data. Then coming to the static and dynamic characteristics of instruments. The following are the static characteristics like static error, accuracy, precision, sensitivity, reproducibility, hysteresis, drift, dead zone, etc. And here hysteresis, drift, dead zone, all these are undesirable characteristics. And coming to the dynamic characteristics, it include speed of response, fidelity, dynamic error, lag, etc. And out of this dynamic error and lag comes under undesirable characteristics. Okay. Then data acquisition system. There are 4 methods of acquiring data. First is collecting new data. Second is converting or transforming legacy data. Then sharing or exchanging data. And finally, we can purchase data. Okay, these are 4 different methods for acquiring data. And data acquisition includes automated collection, that is via sensor, that is from a sensor, that is sensor derived data, and then the manual recording of empirical observations and obtaining existing data from other sources. Then data validation. Data validation is a method for checking the accuracy and quality of your data, typically performed prior to importing and processing. It can also be considered a form of data cleansing. Data validation ensures that your data is complete, there is no blank or null values, then unique, contains distinct values that are not duplicated, and the range of values is consistent with what you expect. Often data validation is used as a part of processes such as ETL, that is extract, transform, and load, where you move data from source database to a target data warehouse so that you can join it with other data for analysis. Data validation ensures that when you perform analysis, your results are accurate. Coming to the statistical tools that we need to make our data shine. So these are some statistical tools like MATLAB, Microsoft Excel, SAS, that is statistical analysis software, GraphPad, Prism, Minitab, SPSS, that is by IBM. SPSS stands for Statistical Package for the Social Sciences. Then coming to the design of experiments, that is DOE. Design of experiments is a systematic method to determine the relationship between factors affecting a process and the output of that process. In other words, it is used to find cause and effect relationships. This information is needed to manage process inputs in order to optimize the output. An understanding of design of experiments first requires knowledge of some statistical tools and the experimentation concepts. The most commonly used terms in the design of experiments methodology include controllable and uncontrollable input factors, responses, hypothesis testing, blocking, replication, and interaction. And we will discuss some model questions. First question, who was the author of the book named Methods in Social Research? The author is Good and Hart. Next, what is the name of the conceptual framework in which the research is carried out? So the answer is option D, that is research design. Okay, research design, the name of the conceptual framework in which the research is carried out. Coming to the next question, which of the following features are considered as critical in qualitative research? So the answer is collecting data with bottom-up empirical evidence. Next question, in order to pursue the research, which of the following is priorly required? Okay, and the answer is formulating a research question. Next question, the format of thesis writing is same as in a research dissertation. Next question, which of the following is not the method of research? Observation is not the method of research. Authenticity of a research finding is its objectivity. Then which technique is generally followed when the population is finite? Population finite, we will follow systematic sampling technique. Next, this research problem is selected from the standpoint of social relevance. The process not needed in experimental research is reference collection. Then what are those conditions where a research problem is not viable? The answer is option T, that is it contains dependent and independent variables. What is the best suited name for a process that does not necessitate experimental research? The answer is manipulation, experimental manipulation. A null hypothesis is that when there is no difference between the variables, that is a null hypothesis. Research objectives falls into a number of categories that include exploratory, descriptive, diagnostic, and experimentation research. Formulative research studies is a category of research that aims to achieve new insights of a concept. The research that is especially carried out to test and validate study hypothesis is termed as conclusive research. Which of these is not a step in the problem identification process, that is management decision making? A formal document that presents research objectives, design of achieving these objectives, and the expected outcomes or deliverables of the study is called research proposal. Then observation is a direct method of collecting primary data. Next, finally, inferring about the whole population based on the observations made on a small part is called inductive inference. And with this, we will wind up this video. Thank you for watching.